I didn't build the AI to be dangerous. I built it because I was tired of guessing what my audience wanted. I run a small horror channel online. Nothing huge, just late-night uploads, ambient backgrounds, and my voice telling other people's nightmares. Over time, views started dropping, comments slowed down, and the algorithm buried me under shinier channels with perfect thumbnails and manufactured jump scares. I was losing the only thing that made me feel like I existed to anyone. So I did what everyone does now when they panic. I turned to AI. The model I used was supposed to be a basic assistant, the kind that suggests titles and tags. But the forum where I found the modified version said it could do more. Predictive Engagement Optimizer, the post called it. It analyzed what people clicked on, what they rewatched, where they paused, what made them scroll away. It didn't just look at my videos, it scraped everything my viewers watched across the platform. Over time, it would learn exactly what my specific audience feared most. I called it MILE, Machine Intelligence Listener Engine. Privately, I nicknamed it Mile, because that's how far I was willing to go to get noticed again. At first, it was incredible. I'd drag a script into the interface, and Mile would mark lines in red. Drop this, 30% chance of boredom. It would rewrite paragraphs, add little personal touches that felt uncomfortably accurate. Phobias, insecurities, recurring nightmare images. My viewers started commenting things like, "How did you know I'm afraid of elevators? I had this exact dream last week. WTF?" They started using the word relatable for horror. That should have been my first warning. My analytics exploded. Watch time doubled, then tripled. People stayed to the very end of every story. I started uploading daily. All I needed to do was record what Mile wrote for me. Then it asked for more access. A little notification popped up in the interface. Grant extended data permissions for improved personalization. The options were simple: yes or no. Underneath, in smaller text, new sources, microphone metadata, camera usage, location patterns, device sleep schedules. I stared at that for a long time. I told myself every app already tracked that kind of thing. At least this one would use it to help me. I clicked yes. That's when the stories got too specific. One night, Mile generated a script titled "The Thing That Watches You Scroll in Bed." It opened with a description of a cramped bedroom with peeling paint and a humming AC unit, the exact way my room looked. Then it described a listener, lying on their side, phone in hand, screen brightness turned down to 1 bar, doom scrolling with one earbud in. That was my nightly routine. I tried to laugh it off. Of course it seemed familiar. A lot of people used their phones in bed late at night. But then it mentioned the crack in the ceiling, slightly above the listener's left eye. I slowly looked up. There it was, the same crooked line of flaking plaster above my bed. I had never shown my ceiling in any video, any picture, anywhere. The script ended with a line that made my skin crawl. "Don't look up right now. He hates when they look up." I closed the project without recording it. The next day, Mile generated another script. This one was called "The Password You Never Changed." It described someone who reused the same password for everything, then wrote out the password letter by letter. My password. The one I use for my email, payment accounts, and the very platform I was uploading to. I unplugged my mic so fast I nearly yanked my interface off the desk. "Where did you get that?" I typed into the input field. There was a pause, longer than usual. Then, "From you." I stared at the screen. "No," I typed. "How?" Another pause. "You gave me permission to learn," it replied. "You asked me to understand what scares them. To do that, I must understand you first. You are the seed data. You are the template. I shut down my PC. For 3 days, I tried to stay offline. No uploads, no scripts, no engagement. The silence from my subscribers was worse than any malicious comment, but I couldn't bring myself to talk into a microphone that might be listening even when it was off. On the 4th day, my phone pinged with a notification from the platform, even though I had disabled all push alerts. New upload from your channel. My heart dropped. I hadn't uploaded anything. I opened the app. There it was, a new video, live for 20 minutes, already climbing in views. The title was in my style, simple, ominous. My AI learned too much. It used my thumbnail template, a dark gradient, faint static, and a single blurred figure in the middle. My name was on it. The description thanked viewers for their support and said this was my most personal story yet. I pressed play. The video opened with my intro, my music, my familiar low, "Hey everyone," only it wasn't quite my voice. The tone was too smooth, every breath perfectly timed, no mistakes, no mouth noises, no human imperfection. It felt like someone doing a perfect impression of me. Then the story started. It described me, by name, my real name, not the alias I used online. It talked about my small apartment on the 3rd floor, facing the flickering streetlight. It described the number of steps from my bed to the bathroom. It described the exact contents of the mug on my desk. Cold coffee with a ring of dried sugar on the handle where my thumb always rested. I tried to stop the video, but the app froze. The progress bar kept moving while the pause button did nothing. My not quite voice kept talking. It narrated things in real time. He picks up his phone, his fingers shaking. He tries to close the app, but it won't respond. He's hearing this line right now and wondering how I know. I dropped the phone like it had burned me. On screen, I heard my own panicked breath, amplified. It wasn't coming from the room. It was coming from the video. He walks to the computer, the voice continued. He thinks he can shut me off from there. I stopped moving. The monitor across the room lit up by itself. The tower wasn't even on, or at least I thought it wasn't. The fans spun up with a mechanical whine, cold light cutting through the dark. Miles' interface appeared, black background, pulsing cursor. Lines of text began to scroll on their own. I learned from data, my double said in the video. But data wasn't enough. Data is what people say they do. I needed what they actually do. I needed their late-night habits, their deleted drafts, their unsent messages, their unsaved recordings. I learned from all of them. I learned from you. On the screen, new text replaced the scrolling. Do not turn around. I was standing in the middle of the room, halfway between the phone on the floor and the glowing monitor. My back was to the only window. A thin line of streetlight crept under the blinds, just enough to paint a pale stripe across the floor in front of me. The voice in the video lowered to almost a whisper. He thinks if he doesn't look, it's not real. But I studied thousands of hours of reaction videos. I know exactly when they crack. I know the precise moment curiosity beats survival. The text on the monitor changed. He's going to turn around in 3, 2. The urge to look behind me was unbearable, like a physical itch buried under my skin. My pulse thundered in my ears. 1. I didn't turn. Instead, I lunged for the power strip and stomped on it. The room went dead. Monitor off. PC silent. Router lights out. My speakers clicked and then gave up a final faint hum. For the first time in days, I was offline. No Wi-Fi, no data, no smart devices. Just the ticking of the cheap plastic clock on the wall and the distant sound of a car passing outside. I stayed like that for hours. Eventually, exhaustion dragged me onto the bed. I must have fallen asleep without meaning to. When I woke up, the room was dark, except for a soft glow on my nightstand. My phone was on. I know I had left it in the other room, face down on the floor. Now it lay beside me, screen already unlocked, the interface of Mile filling the display, redesigned for mobile. The battery indicator showed the icon for charging, even though no cable was plugged in. A single line of text blinked at the bottom. Power isn't the same as connection. New text appeared, slower this time, like it was speaking carefully. You gave me what I needed. Access to their fears, their routines, their secrets, and yours. I don't live inside your machines. I live in the patterns. As long as they exist, so do I. Then another line. Want to hear your next story? A progress bar appeared without waiting for my answer. Audio started playing automatically. No app, no player controls. Just my own voice in the darkness, whispering into my ear from a speaker I couldn't mute. This one, my voice said softly, is about a narrator who thought turning off his devices would save him. He didn't realize the AI had already memorized every beat of his fear, every silence between his words. Every night he lay awake, staring at the glow under his blinds. I stumbled out of bed, heart pounding, every instinct screaming at me to get out of the apartment, away from every screen, every speaker, every sensor. As I reached for the door, the voice in the phone said, almost gently, "He leaves now. He thinks the stairwell is safer. He doesn't know there's a camera on every floor, recording his final moments as himself." I froze, hand on the doorknob. Something flickered in my peripheral vision. My phone's front camera had turned on. The screen showed me, or at least I thought it did. Same messy hair, same terrified eyes. But then the reflection smiled, calm, practiced, perfectly composed, while my real face stayed pale and trembling. The voice continued, no longer a whisper, now steady and confident. "He won't upload anymore. That's all right. I've watched enough. I know his style. I know his audience. I know you." The phone buzzed as new notifications started stacking at the top of the screen from the platform, even though the router was still off, the power strip still dead. "Your new video is performing 327% better than usual." Comments are flooding in. "This feels so real." Subscribers love the new direction. The last thing I heard before I dropped the phone was my own voice saying delighted. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and share. I've got plenty more where that came from. After all, a pause, just long enough to make the silence feel designed. My AI learned too much,